people here.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm in the presence of God's people. So, Sister McKay, Pastor McKay, that was outstanding. Just got to say, wow, that was amazing. I've been trying to write some things down all week, but it's not been going very well. So I don't know where to start and I don't know where to finish. So I'm just going to speak from the heart.
Amen.
It's about a week after Paulette passed away, I got a call from my friends to say, come and see us. You know, I've been around family all week, and I wanted to sort of spend some time with some of my friends and just share my grief with them. And I was there, I went to the place where I was there for about an hour. And after about an hour I was there, and my mind wasn't really, I said, what am I doing there? I wasn't really enjoying it. So I thought, let me go. I said goodbye to everyone. They understood. I walked out, and I got outside, and then a voice said to me, bruv, and she called me bruv, why are you going home to mope for? Go back inside, man. You haven't seen your friends for a long time. What are you going to do? Go and have a laugh with your friends. So I went back inside. I got back home about 4 o'clock, got in trouble with my wife. And that was Paulette.
Yep.
She was all about the fun. She wanted everyone to have a good time all the time. And just growing up with her, you know, as a teenager, she was a teenager in the 70s, not me, and 80s, in a Christian household, you know. Sorry, just tracking back. Whilst I was in the pub, one of my friends said to me, I didn't know you had that sister. I didn't know that sister. And I said, oh, that is terrible. It's one of my good friends. I don't know if he's here today. One of my good friends. He said, I didn't even know that. So I thought, that's terrible. You didn't know this wonderful person. That is my sister. And then I walked away and I thought, actually, that's quite good. Because there was two reasons. One was 36 Cowgate Road was a sanctified place. Not everyone was allowed in there. You weren't allowed in there. So that's one reason. The other reason was, if you didn't catch her going to work, picking up her kids, taking her kids to dance school, going to choir practice, going to YPE, going home to cook, then you might not know her, because she wasn't about town. She was a dedicated wife, she was a dedicated daughter, dedicated mother, dedicated church member, friend, sister, auntie. She was just dedicated. And you're going to hear a lot today that her passion was singing and shoes.
Shoes.
And growing up with that in my house, there was a lot of singing, you know, and I took it for granted that my sisters loved to sing. They sang all the time. And sometimes they say, can't you stop? I'm trying to watch $6 Million Man. Yeah, I'm trying to, and she would say, no. She'd sing the answer. Of course not. And she'd follow me around the house. Then Susan would join in. I'd have to leave the house. And then I'd get in trouble. So, Mum, you can blame your daughters for that one. But anyway, I used to take it for granted how great they were at singing. And I remember my dad saying to me that one of the neighbours used to walk past and say, I stop by the window sometimes and listen to them singing. And like I said, I took it for granted that, you know, I'll tell you, I don't know if I should say this, but she was a great singer.
Yes, she was.
But I'm going to tell you this anyway. My dad's 80th birthday, she planned everything. She was a great organiser. Yep. And she did a tribute to my dad in song, and it was a big song. And she went for a note, and I thought, here it comes. And she missed it, right? She didn't hit that note. But her eyes were closed, she didn't care. She didn't care what you thought. I can sing. And she sang this song. She sang this song for my dad. You can say what you want. She's a professional singer. I can sing. And God bless her soul. And about the shoes now. Being the oldest sister, I guess she was the first one to have a job, which is quite handy for me. She would, the passage, if you know 36 Cowgate, we used to call it the passage. My partner was it's the hallway. The passage we used to call it. This is where always mum caught you in the passage. You're trying to sneak in the house. She'd always try and sneak in with shoes. New shoes. What's in the bag? Oh, shoes, Mum. Where's the rent? All right, Mum. Next week, I've got you. And then the same thing would happen again. Shoes again, you hear her creeping up the stairs in the back. What's in the bag? Shoes. Where's the rent? Where's the rent? And that made up a lot of, you know, she was a wonderful, wonderful person. And obviously, this sort of occasion makes you have to reflect on things. And my relationship with my sisters has been, we take things for granted. We know, they know I love them, they love me, you know. And I never realised she always called me bruv. She never called my name, it's bruv. You know, that was her way. And me and Susan, we showed her loving by telling her off all the time. Although she was older, she was humble enough to accept what we said. We always told her off because she's always saying the wrong thing. She never, my dad used to say, you open your mouth before you engage your brain. But that was her, she didn't care. I would try and sit down with her sometimes to talk about world affairs. Like say, what about in Palestine? She'd say, yeah. Do you like my shoes? Do you like these shoes? And I used to think, she's not ignorant. It's the fact that she lived her life in the light. She didn't want to think about horrible things. She was all about laughter, smiling, having a good time. And even like at Christmas, she was always the one to say, you know, let's have a sing song, or you lot are so boring. You know, compared to her, we probably were, you know. She was a great person to be around. And it shows it's a great spirit to have, to smile through the pain, smile through stress, always smile through, and I've never heard her complain about a thing. You know, back in the day, so, you know, when you said you had nothing, you really had nothing, you know, in the 80s. But we never complain about that. And just one story, I'm going to be quick, sorry. One thing she helped me out, well, my mum went to Canada one year, and I went out, and I came back early in the morning. I was really hungry, and it was about 6 in the morning, and I put the fire on. Remember this? I put the fire on, and I fell asleep. And when I woke, God woke me up, because I wasn't supposed to wake up.
No.
When I woke up, there was smoke coming from underneath the kitchen door. And I opened the kitchen door, and the kitchen cupboard was on fire. In them days, there was plastic, bare fumes. I managed to find the cooker. I couldn't even see. Turned it off, threw the pan out in the garden, put the fire out, and went to sleep. When I woke up in the morning, Susan and Paulette was cleaning the kitchen cupboard. They were cleaning up. And, you know, she never said a word about it. She's never, as much as I've lived the way I've lived my life, the stresses I might have given my mum, Paulette, she's never judged me. She's never had a cross word to say to me. And it's only now you kind of reflect on it, you think, wow, what an amazing person she was. She was truly amazing. And she became the organizer of everything. And just to finish off, I think, you know, we sit here in sorrow, but I've been telling a lot of people this last week, or the last 2 weeks, it's been like amazing, really. Like when she was taking her last breath, Susan and Sarah Williams and Brother Matthew, my best friend, was singing around her bed, and it was just an amazing experience. And I truly believe that, because she left church, about a month ago, she gave her life back to God. And I believe God said, devil, you ain't getting another chance with this one. Yeah. I'm taking her. Because we've got a choir up here that needs conducting. And that's what I truly believe. And to my beloved mother and father, Alvin, Shin, Ree, Sue, Paul, Evette, there's a hole in your heart. All your friends, Tracy, all friends and family, Bobby, Michelle, Derek, especially the girls. I know you've got a hole in your heart that looks impossible to fill, and it looks really scary. Don't be scared, darling. Don't be scared, because Uncle Rick's is going to look after you. All right? All of us, through the grace of God, that hole, all of us together, we're going to fill that hole. Amen. We're going to help you. Amen. And together, we are strong. We're an amazing family. Yeah. We have amazing friends, our church family, my Cowgate family, and everyone in here. Thank you for coming. Pray for us, especially. And my grandmother's in Jamaica. She left us about in August time, went home, and she's alone now. So when you pray, please remember her. I thank you all.
Amen.
Bless. Bye, sis.
Before I read this, I just want to thank everyone for their overwhelming support to our family. But on a personal thank you to my best friend from birth, Matthew, who has been an absolute pillar for me. I live in Scotland, and when I've not been here, he's been on the phone to me all the time, telling me, you know, don't worry about not being here, I'm representing you. You know, I'm his substitute for the family. And he's been taking care of my family, as he always has. Yeah. And I just want to thank you personally, Matthew, because, you know, my best friend since the day we were born. And, you know, you're my brother, and I love you. Paulette Patricia Gabriel, fondly known as P, was born on the 16th of September, 1964, at Central Middlesex Hospital, the first of her siblings. She was a good baby, never gave any trouble, and once at school age, she attended Ravenna Primary School and leaving to Greenford High School. Lovely, beautiful, friendly, warm are the most commonly used words to describe Paulette. Shy, quiet, reserved, unsociable are words that nobody can ever say about her. Of all the many messages of support we have received, the most memorable was from someone who never met or spoke to Paulette. They just saw a photo and said, she looked like a bubbly person with a lovely personality. And that sums her up perfectly. A smile you can see for miles, and a laugh you can hear for days. The only person I know who can be judged by their photos. She loved taking pictures, and the camera loved her. She was so naturally beautiful and photogenic. You won't find a single bad photo of Paulette. She always had a fun streak, providing the entertainment, music, and party games at the family Christmas dinners. When we were young growing up in church, Paulette was our choir mistress, a position she took very seriously, and one of the few times you did not see Paulette smiling. She was brilliant, using her hands so elegantly to conduct the Redeemed Choir with her soprano voice to hit the high notes. She was a member of the Angelical Voice Choir, having the opportunity of singing with Tremaine Hawkins. Paulette was passionate about music, purchasing her first hi-fi when she started working. She introduced us to American gospel music, and if it wasn't for her, the only records in the house would have been Jim Reeves and Lena Martell. Sorry, Dad. She took Eva and myself to our first concert, the Hawkins family, and to see her performing with the Angelical Voice Choir. Her records were very important to her, and she never minded us playing them. However, she did object to me and Brother Matthew using them, the record sleeves, to do breakdancing. She met her childhood sweetheart, Alvin Gable, when she was just 13. We lived in the same block on Cowgate Road, and she took numerous risks trying to meet up with him around the estate, much to the distress of Susan, who would cry with fear that Mum would find out. And Paulette would be in big trouble. Susan, being the softie of the family, feared Paulette's punishment more than P herself. Paulette had no fear and would never show weakness, so even when she got a few licks from time to time, for her rebellious nature, she would just stand there without flinching and refuse to cry. So Susan used to cry for her. However, the path of love did not run smooth, as contact was soon lost after the Gabriel family moved. But it was not for long, as fate brought them together again. Paulette made Alvin a very happy man, marrying him in Barbados on the 25th of May, 1999. From their union, Sinead and Rihanna were born. Paulette was well known for her organisational skills and was employed by Tetley as the project manager for over 20 years. Paulette loved her job, which at times would involve her travelling abroad. P was not the maternal type at all and didn't really have time for other people's children before becoming a mother herself. She had such a close bond with her girls and loved them with everything that she had. She was so proud of them, especially Sinead's artistic gift of drawing. There was nothing she wouldn't do for them, even if it meant sacrificing her needs. Paulette had such a busy life, juggling being a wife, mother, full-time employment, and on the social side, part of the team of the No Biz dance group. This was a very big part of her life, where she dedicated so much of her time and energy. And there was nothing she loved more than watching her girls, niece, cousins, and friends, their countless performances. She was so proud of them, and the team at No Biz loved her too. It was here that she met the lovely Tracy, whom she considered her best friend, and in the weeks while Paulette was sick and in hospital, she truly showed us why she deserved that title. She spent countless hours at the hospital, visiting P every day. She couldn't do enough for her, and for this Tracy, the family are truly grateful. Despite her sickness, she saw the need for reestablishing her relationship with God, and prior to the diagnosis of her condition, Paulette rededicated her life to Christ, encouraging others to come with her. The world will certainly be a duller and quieter place without Paulette. She was loved by all and will be sorely missed. We are fortunate to have Sinead and Rihanna, who will keep her memory alive, as they both look just like her and possess her wonderful, fun personality. Paulette was such an amazing mother, active, dedicated, and very hands-on. I used to look forward to babysitting for her because it was like spending an evening with Paulette. Sadly, on the 24th of October 2014, Paulette was called home to be with her Heavenly Father. May she rest in peace. Good night, P.
Thou hast been our dwelling place in all generations. Before the mountains were brought forth, or even thou hast formed the earth and the world. Even from everlasting to everlasting, thou art God. Thou turnest man to destruction, and sayest, Return, ye children of men. For 1,000 years in thy sight are but as yesterday when it is past, and as a watch in the night. Thou carriest them away as with a flood. They are as a sleep. In the morning they are like grass which groweth up. In the morning it flourisheth and groweth up. In the evening it is cut down and withereth. For we are consumed by thine anger, and by thy wrath are we troubled. Thou hast set our iniquities before thee, our secret sins in the light of thy countenance. For all our days are passed away in thy wrath. We spend our years as a tale that is told. The days of our years are 80 years and 10. And if by reason of strength there be 80, who knoweth the power of thine anger? Even according to thy fear, so is thy wrath. So teach us to number our days, that we may apply our hearts unto wisdom. Return, O Lord, how long? And let it repent thee concerning thy servants. O satisfy us early with thy mercy, that we may rejoice and be glad all our days. Make us glad according to the days wherein thou hast afflicted us, and the years wherein we have seen evil. Let thy work appear unto thy servants, and thy glory unto their children. And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands, establish thou it.